Okay. So you're sitting alone quietly in your room and you're sad because the new PS5 came out and people are scalping it on eBay. That'll be a dated reference. Or you don't get to play the new Xbox Series 1 Extra Double X and the pandemic is raging. That will also be a dated reference. And you're like, man, I wish I didn't have to pay for all of this. Wham! Emulator! But how am I gonna play it? Wham! USB controller! Unless you actually did buy one of those PlayStation 5s, in which case you're probably more like,
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
I'll explain how all this works in a minute, but if you've ever thought to yourself, did they even make good games back in the day? Or what would it feel like to play one of those 80s games that tried to validate the insecurities in masculine culture at the time? Actually, Arnold's been like the image of healthy masculinity in his later years, but I'm talking about the kind with that badass run and gun style gameplay that every kid just had to have their hands on. Surely such an experience cannot be lived today. Surely such a game couldn't possibly hold up. Welcome to Contra, bitches! Running, jumping, shooting.
Jump and shoot, man!
All the things you hoped and dreamed for in an alternate dimension where you grew up in the 80s but were too poor for high-end entertainment. There's a massive collection of old games out there that still hold up and can be played for free, using things most of you out there probably already have.
All you do in this game is run, jump, and shoot?
Yep!
What the heck? You die in one hit?
That's right, bitch!
Doesn't this game encourage toxic masculinity by creating a stereotypical image of what manliness looks like?
Absolutely, and that's why it's important to raise your kids properly in order for them to be able to distinguish between the many facets of morality while still appreciating art. So let's just start off with one of the first of many fantastic aspects of this game. The music! Your dumb, intuitive brain might reasonably expect gameplay to be the first order of business in a video game. Not in this video. Because when you boot this game up, and you press through the menu screen, what's the first thing that comes screaming out of the TV? And it's not just the opening title. This game lays down banger. After banger. After banger. It's so good that despite the fact that nearly every heavy metal cover of video game music is bad, this soundtrack still sounds badass. Just take a listen to this boss fight, for example. All right. The next thing is gameplay, and in case it isn't apparent, wait, am I supposed to keep these sections consistent? Gameplay! Have you ever considered how otherwise good video games can be completely marred by something as simple as character movement, or else something like the weightiness of essential components such as, oh, I don't know, weapons don't quite give that satisfying oomph you're looking for? I can tell you what game that's not a problem in. Unless you pick up the F. As soon as you hit the ground in the first level, it's like, wham! Machine gun! And then you die and you lose it, but you're like, bam! Spread fire! And then you see the little R and you're like, ooh, what did that do? And then wham! Faster spread fire! This game starts you with your dinky little semi-automatic rifle that doesn't have big bullets and then gives you the opportunity to utilize upgrades by proving your worth with skilled combat. And don't even get me started on responsiveness. I mean, precise responsive movement isn't exactly a unique feature in the world of NES games, but there are so many modern games out there today that are seemingly unwilling or unable to get character movement right. When you screw something up in Contra, there's no, the game didn't do what I told it to do. No! That shit is your fault. And while we're on the subject, I might as well throw in the fact that this game does not care if you're a measly little 8-year-old in 1987 that hasn't held a controller that belongs to a brand new artistic medium. You get hit once, dead. Not paying attention, dead. Fall down a little hole, dead. You got 3 lives, which you can earn more by not being bad, and that's it. This game was basically the Dark Souls of its day. And disclaimer, it's obviously not going to be as difficult for gamers today, relatively speaking. But this shit was hard as fuck for a generation that was never asked to utilize such precise hand-eye coordination.
What is that?
Fire from the gods.
I don't know. Power glove.
Now, this is probably a good spot to point out one of the most important aspects of gameplay, which is your character's blue pants. If you look closely, you can see it's the same color you want whenever you smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Got him. And don't confuse it with player 2's pants. That's a wrong one. Also, speaking of co-op, you might be thinking, it seems like playing co-op in a side-scroller would be really annoying. And you would be correct. Don't do it. All right, we're going to try to start winding this thing down because, in all honesty, I have no idea how long the script is going to play out once I record everything. Environment!
Environments. I already get the gist of the video. I don't need to hear about the other nuances of the game.
Wrong! Environment! Look, I'm sorry, but many of what are considered modern-day classics, even the ones specifically cited for having great environments, have some trouble with repetition. Contra, on the other hand, is like jungles, underground bases, walking in a winter wonderland, fire pipes, and Donkey Kong level. The whole game is full of freshness and variety start to finish. Not to mention the boss battles, which is tied loosely enough to the atmosphere that I'm going to include them in this section. Look at this guy. He just throws giant Beyblades at you. Sometimes it's Bubble Buddy. Sometimes we just fight the level. Perhaps you're climbing an innocent old waterfall like a regular bad boy, and then, hey, why's the screen all dark? Oh my god, what is that thing? Oh my god, why does he have flails for arms? One of the best things this game does to utilize a constrained 2D environment is resort to good old perspective to keep it compelling. The first level gives you that classic left-to-right design that most gamers are familiar with. The second level has you moving along the Z-axis, giving the sense that the player is moving deeper and deeper into the enemy base. It's here that they introduce enemies that lob sausages, rolling pins, and that guy from the Power Rangers movie. The third level goes vertical. You hear that? Vertical. One might assume that such a decision is too daring a choice that risks overburdening the development team. But nope. Contra pulls it off with grace. Obstacles and enemy placement keep everything interesting from start to finish, and none of the pacing is damaged because you constantly want to see what comes next. And what's the reason you're watching this? What's the point of this video again? Because it's free! Like I said at the beginning of the video, you can play these games with a computer. You can download an emulator. You can plug in your own controller. The games that will be on this channel are littered all over the internet, and it's a fairly simple process to get it up and running. To sum it up in 5 seconds, download emulator, download ROMs, connect controller. That's it. You can do research on which emulator fits your preference if you want. More detailed instructions will be in the description. But honestly, whatever pops up first is recommended on Google will probably do what the majority of you want it to. I use Messin. No specific reason. It was just rated well. And also, if you're watching this, and you're probably aware that this is a new channel, but don't worry. I definitely won't sit around all day trying to convince you to share my videos or try to push you into growth. Even if it has far more impact on my fledgling channel than it does the big guys. And even though I'll be responding to anyone in the comments, because at the time of posting this video, I literally have 0 audience base. Just know that it all feeds the algorithm, which you specifically have the power to impact. Just saying. I'll try to get these videos out every other week, so if you want to see the next one when it lands, that is to say, if you want to help this channel grow, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you later. Bye!